President Arshad for those kind words and that kind introduction, as well as to the Chamber for a wonderful lunch. I recognize Vice President for having me here, and all of you. It's good to see some faces that I recognize and have spoken to before. Just walking in here, the first 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, I got about 4 or 5 private sector colleagues that we've worked with in one way or another. Whether it's a subcontract under one of our implementing partners to install medical equipment in a clinic, or whether it's reaching out to private sector expertise, again through maybe our trade project to help design our interventions there. I could go on, and I know that's a theme of what we're going to be talking about. I think I'll just state from the onstart, I mean, we want to do more of this, and we want to do it better. And we want to do it in a more innovative and creative way. And I'll get to that later. But let me first also recognize my team. But before I do that, I think I should also recognize my colleague from the U.S. Embassy, the commercial counselor, John Fay. I think you all know him. But maybe what you don't know is that we work closely together in the U.S. Embassy. We're not in a silo, right? We got the commercial section, we got USAID. I talk to John all the time about USAID and about how can we work together with the private sector. And so if you can't find me, go to John. And also I brought 2 of my colleagues here from USAID. I'll start with Mohammed Khan, if you could stand up. So Mohammed Khan is the director of the Office of Economic Growth. I won't go into his portfolio. Significantly, our agriculture program, Feed the Future. And so, again, if you can't find us, if you can go to Mohammed. And then also, I want to introduce the other colleague I brought with me today, our program economist, Michael Trueblood. And so Michael probably knows a little bit about everything across all of our programs because one, he's the economist and he's looking, he's analyzing everything for us from kind of an economic perspective, socio-economic perspective. And then of course our program office is in charge of making sure that we don't work in silos inside USAID, but that we're working across health, education, agriculture, and good governance. So that's my team. Come to any of us and have conversations with us. We'll put you in touch with our partners. If you're not in touch with them already, we're happy to share ideas, brainstorm together to see how we can work together. And I think we know what that means. I mean, shared objectives. So Bangladesh is moving from least developed country status to lower middle income. Great, I mean, congratulations. But from a long-term development perspective, we're assuming you do not want to get stuck in the middle income trap. You want to go towards advanced economy. And that's here in Bangladesh. We're striving to be a good development partner to the host country, Bangladesh, in its journey, in its trajectory towards an advanced economy. And how are we going to do that? How are we going to reach that vision? After having enough funds to reach that vision of advanced economy status for Bangladesh, I would venture no. Does USAID and all the other development partners here have enough money to support Bangladesh's vision of reaching advanced economy status? I would say no. So what does that mean? That means this trajectory, this vision will be fueled through private sector growth and economic growth and private sector financing and public-private partnerships. So we certainly realize the importance from a development perspective of looking at our projects, activities, our development objectives, and engaging in conversations with all of you to find those areas where our development objectives align with your investment objectives or your commercial objectives. And where those opportunities align, let's work together. I can give you a couple examples from a couple of countries I've been in. We were doing humanitarian assistance after a flood. Okay, so then and there were a lot of displaced people that we were providing humanitarian assistance to. I was talking to a private sector investor who was building a 5-star hotel. I said, could you use some labor from the displaced people population? And yes, we could do that. And so we worked together to support giving some temporary labor with the displaced people, with the person or the investor that was building this hotel. So that was a win-win situation. That's just one example. I could go on and on and give you other examples. But let me stop there and I'll circle back to this conversation. But I wanted to pick up a little bit on the history. And the president has already talked about the history a little bit, but I would be remiss if I didn't go through the USAID Bangladesh Development Partnership that goes back over 50 years, so shortly after liberation. We have tried to build our brand here. People have seen the handshake, I think, which signifies partnership.